Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is my dog Poe, and welcome back to our channel. Hey everybody, again, it's me, Zach. Hi, hello, how are you doing? I hope you're doing so well today. Today I just want to do a little bit of a follow-up on the Temu video I last posted and talk a little bit about some of the comments that came from folks who came over from the YouTuber Hey Everybody's channel. As a note, as I've been making new content and trying some new things on this channel, I've been reading the comments a lot more. I still might not really respond to a whole bunch of them, but I have been trying to see how people feel about the new direction and the new vibes and things like that. And I just want to say I 100% appreciate all of the support as I have branched out into new subjects, topics, etc. I really appreciate that folks are still here, still watching, still hanging out with me, and I also appreciate the support that everybody has given me on my second channel, Zachary Michael also, where I re-upload my Twitch reactions. So, like I said, I got a lot of interesting comments on my Temu video. I think mostly because Aaron, or Hey Everybody, the YouTube channel that does Temu hauls, did a video last night, not hauling Temu actually, but did a video where she did talk about watching my video. She linked to my video, she told people to go check out my channel, and they did! They came on over, and a lot of them left me a lot of comments about how they felt about the situation, and it's great for engagement. I'm not upset about it at all, but I do think a lot of them would be great things to look at in terms of how they reinforce this idea of YouTubers buying just all kinds of stuff they don't need from Temu and or other places. I really feel like they show just how easy people are to justify things like overconsumption from Temu, and that's what I really want to dive into and look at deeper. But first, let me show you a little bit of what Erin had to say in her video that she posted last night.
And then I want to say hey to anybody who's here from Zachary Michael's channel. I am a fan of Zachary Michael. Usually when someone makes a video about me, I don't comment, I'm not bothered, but I knew sooner or later that Zachary Michael was gonna come for me. I knew it. I just knew it. Because I saw him go after the Dollar Tree girlies, and I thought, oh no, Temu is probably gonna be next. So anyway, yes, head on over to Zachary Michael's channel if you're so inclined. They did a great video about Temu haulers, and I have a lot that I could say in response, but I don't want to, in a kind and respectful way, but I don't want to get into it with Zachary Michael. I blame Amberlynn Reed for not doing enough. Usually Zachary Michael on his channel does Amberlynn Reed commentaries, and then he has another channel called Zachary, or they, I don't know Zachary Michael's pronouns. They have another I'm just going to use they, have another channel, Zachary Michael also. And yeah, I ended up on the main channel. Yay, why'd they have to pick the weird clips of me? What I did feel after I watched that video, besides some shame, well, I had the perspective is a little off, but that's okay. But also I thought, man, I need to lose 10 pounds and get a new hairline. I just really, so vain, it depressed me. But that's about it for that. Okay, and I'm wearing the blouse that I do, yeah, hives. Oh yeah, I don't like watching videos about myself. Where's my Candy Bella? I'm already looking greasy. I don't like hearing somebody else say that I'm weird and all that stuff. That's never fun. Hurt my feelings. I stopped reading the comments over on that video because I stopped when I read somebody was calling me unhinged. Unhinged. Now that's kind of like a violent word, like unhinged. Maybe, I don't know, probably, yeah. I don't want to read comments about, hold on, like this table falling and the lights falling down and me trying to get to what I want to haul, but it's on the floor and it's in a huge bag, and there's so much stuff going on that I don't even have room for the bag. We're out of wine. I could go make a stiff drink, which I might later for both my mouth and my pride. There he is. Isn't he hot? See that? Be careful when you say stuff like that, because that's the kind of thing people can clip and put in a random video, and then you do just end up looking like a weirdo. So all this blotch is from a mask that's been strapped to my face, a little bit like if you watch Foodie Beauty, and she comes on and does her videos with her CPAP mask marks on. I will also post a link to Zachary Michael's channel, because I'm nice like that. Go over there, give him some love. Don't be mean. Temu is ruined now for me. It was funny that that Zachary Michael's Temu video came out today, because I'm just about done with Temu for the time being. It's no fun ordering a bunch of stuff from local warehouses, and it's just not, it's not the same.
First and foremost, I want to say that I don't have beef with Aaron, and to be honest, after watching that whole video, I don't really think that Aaron has beef with me, although it does seem like maybe her feelings were a little bit hurt by people in my comments maybe, or maybe by the way I worded some things. But overall, it doesn't seem like Aaron is completely unhappy with me. Obviously, it's tough to take like any kind of criticism on the internet, so I totally get where she's coming from. It's tough to hear people have feedback about you in that kind of way, so I get that kind of stuff. But it doesn't seem to me, at least, that she's as upset with me as some of the people in my comments are upset with me. I do think Erin is seemingly a good person and seems to be a funny person, a nice and kind person. But my commentary on her participation in overconsumption via Temu and or other places she shops is not intended to be a commentary on her as a person. It's not intended to make a judgment of who she is overall as a person, but more so my intent was to look at her behavior as an example of the ways that people on the internet, social media influencers, etc. participate in overconsumption through things like Temu hauls. In my last video, you might remember that I included a clip from Erin herself saying that this is not a normal way to shop and that she didn't want kids to look at her channel and think that's how you were supposed to shop. And in addition to that, she also left a comment on my video and shared a little bit more about her thoughts on Temu and overconsumption. She said, "It's a hard spot to be in because the YouTube AdSense money is crazy huge, more than what I spend on hauls, but I have to keep hauling stuff to make it. It's a bitter trap and miserable for my mental health. It's blood money, honey." And I think that just really speaks to where she's at. I mean, I feel like I did get a sense in some of the videos that I clipped from and that I've watched of hers that she doesn't seemingly like enjoy doing Temu hauls. It seems like maybe to some extent she feels a little trapped. And there were a lot of people that responded to that comment suggesting that, like, you know, there are other things you can do. You don't have to keep doing Temu. I just want to say that as well. Like, I think there's never a wrong time to try and reinvent yourself on the internet. Something that I really relate to myself. And I really support her leaving Temu behind. And in fact, in the video she posted where she talked about my video, she did mention that she was considering, you know, no longer doing Temu anyways because she had been really unhappy with some of the things she received and stuff like that. So perhaps that's the direction she's going. I think one of the other things that's really apparent from her particular video is that she's very aware of who I am and also very aware of who Amberlynn and Chantal are, and she's been aware for a while. And interestingly, regarding Amberlynn and Chantal or Foodie Beauty, there was one comment on my video yesterday that suggested that they recognized her as somebody who used to do commentary and or reactions to Chantal and Amberlynn. They said, "That first woman I was watching, immediately thinking, wow, I know her somehow. Odd. Then it just clicked hearing her voice. I think she used to go by Erin years ago, had a reaction type channel." And then another person said, "Yes, that's her." Now, I can't verify that to be true because I honestly have only ever known her in the context of her being a Temu haul channel. But given her extensive knowledge about Amberlynn and Chantal, I wouldn't really be all that surprised. Which I do think is interesting because there were plenty of people, as you'll see in some comments I'll showcase later, but there were plenty of people who were like, I can't believe you make money from talking about other creators online. And the person that they're defending may have done that herself in the past. And based on several comments that I got from people who said that I didn't do any research, and if I had watched any of her videos, I would know that she is such a good person and like I really should just watch more than one video, blah, 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 blah. I have to tell you the reality is that I've been aware of her for a while. When I first reacted to Holler Time, the other YouTuber I mentioned in the Temu video, somebody on Twitch suggested that I also look into Aaron. Actually, quick correction, Holler Time actually mentions Aaron in the video that I'm reacting to on Twitch, and that's how I found out about Hey Everybody.
Hey Everybody's channel last night.
Who is Hey Everybody? Is Hey Everybody another YouTubey? Let me see, maybe I'll just do Hey Everybody Temu haul. Oh, it sure is another, it's another little Temu haul girly. Oh, and she does diamond paintings. And wouldn't you know it, Erin commented on that video that was re-uploaded to my Twitch re-upload channel. She said, these videos are life. If Zach ever roasted my Temu hauls, I would squeal like a giddy little fangirl, not sponsored, ... edit. Oh my god, he found my channel. And she's commented several other times. I don't have copies of every single comment ever, but you know, she commented on some of the Dollar Tree drama and said, I'm always living for Dollar Tree drama, bless their hearts. Commented on another video and said, love these reactions, I laugh so hard, thank you. So all of that to say is that I am aware of who Erin is. I have watched more than just a couple of her videos. Not to say that I've watched every single video of hers ever, because her videos are like an hour long and I'm not that invested in stuff from Temu to watch every single video of hers. But I'm definitely aware. I definitely know who she is. And it's also interesting to me that seemingly the people who think I have no concept of who she is might not have a concept of who Erin is, or that she hangs out in my community and my comment sections and things like that. It seems like one of the major things that people used a lot to justify Erin having these Temu hauls and buying stuff she might not necessarily need is that she donates a lot of it to charity. One person said, judge much? Let the Temu haulers, especially Hey Everybody, alone. It's their choice. Erin donates a lot of her purchases to charities. We enjoy her humor and her hauls. She doesn't come off as a snooty YouTuber as yourself. Her channel's fun to watch, whereas my eyes won't see yours again. Which is very fine, Texan Mary. That is certainly your prerogative. You do not have to watch my channel again. However, I have talked about donations and stuff before on my channel. And I just want to say, just because you're donating your unwanted items somewhere doesn't inherently make you a good person or specifically justify your over-purchasing and overconsumption. I do have thoughts on giving unwanted things to donation centers and places that might be accepting donations, because I used to be in charge of a food bank at the last school that I worked at. And we did solicit donations from the community at large, but we asked for very specific things because we had very limited room to store the things in our campus pantry. So when people would leave things that we couldn't use or we didn't need, it turned into a situation where we had to figure out what to do with that because we didn't have a place to store it, nor could we give it out to students. And from my experience, this is generally a problem with a lot of places that take in donations from people. A big part of people who work in that field is figuring out what to do with unwanted or unneeded or unusable donations. I also think the idea of only donating unwanted things to people is a little weird. Like, you're only giving away things you don't like or don't want. I feel like it just says a little bit about what you think about the person who might be receiving receiving that item. Because if you really think about it, it really comes down to, does anybody even want the stuff that you're hauling from Temu? That's really hard to say considering it doesn't seem like you want it yourself. So why is the assumption that somebody in need might want your scraps or the things you don't like or the low quality stuff you're buying from Temu? Some of the donation comments also bled into comments talking about my shelf behind me. This one right here, you see it? This shelf. One commenter said, "I'm having a hard time getting my head around you talking about overconsumption, when in the background you have all that junk on those shelves. Also, hey everybody, Erin is one of the nicest people on YouTube. She also admits her overconsumption." Interesting that somehow justifies it. "But she gives a lot to charity." And another person said, "How are you to judge other people? I can see yourself have a lot of junk on your shelves that you don't need. Hey everybody is the best on YouTube. She's the most generous and kind woman to poor people in shelters. So don't talk a lot of crap of things you don't know anything about." It's interesting to me that, people seem to think that I made a lot of assumptions about Erin in my video based on actual clips from what she presented in her own videos, but are making a ton of assumptions about things that I ain't never talked about on my channel, or at least in that video specifically. I will say, it seems like ever since I started having conversations about overconsumption on my channel, people have taken issue with this shelf behind me. And I will say, I understand where that would probably come from, at least as an initial response. A lot of the things on that shelf look like just silly knickknacks that nobody really needs, and maybe that is the case. But I think it's a little bit of a false equivalency to compare the shelf that's behind me in every single one of my videos that hasn't really changed much over the years to the multiple Temu hauls from people on this platform where they haul things you may never see again in a YouTube video. And for what it's worth, I did recently make a video about my Furby collection, which is a large part of what's on the shelf behind me. I'll leave a link to it down below. Feel free to check it out if that is of interest to you. But I will say all of the things that are on that shelf in general include things that I've had for a really long time, like this paddle right here. I actually also have a video on my channel about this paddle. This paddle's been in my videos since the inception, is that the word I'm looking for, of my channel. I also have a Kelly Rowland, well there's a glare on her, I'm looking in the viewfinder, there's a glare on the box, but this is a Kelly Rowland Barbie doll that I got as a gift as a child. So in general, we're talking about things that have been around in my life for a really long time. And again, I haven't made entire content surrounding just buying a bunch of stuff to put in the background of my videos. In fact, I've made very little content like that over time. And I also don't think I've ever suggested that folks aren't allowed to decorate their homes, which is what I consider this. Like, how boring would my videos potentially be if I just sat in front of a blank wall? Maybe they wouldn't be boring at all, but like, I like the way it looks. I feel like it adds character to my channel and I enjoy it. I'm not here to gatekeep other people's joy. I think folks should decorate their homes. How boring would life be if we all sat around in homes with nothing on the walls, nothing on the shelves, and didn't have anything at all? I'm just saying, let's be thoughtful about how we buy these things. Like, I didn't buy any of these things on Temu. I didn't buy any of these things probably on Amazon or at the Dollar Tree. Well, actually, there is one little thing. I did a Dollar Tree arts and crafts one time for a Twitch stream, and that is still up on my shelf. It's a little truck. But yeah, I'm not saying people shouldn't be allowed to decorate their homes. And really, this argument also boils down to, well, you have things, so you participate in overconsumption. And that's silly, because obviously most of us, I would think, don't spend the way that these Temu YouTubers are spending. I mean, my commentary on Hey Everybody was literally, in a lot of ways, responding specifically to her, admitting herself that she buys too much, that she spends too much. And she's doing it strictly for YouTube. There was also a theme in the comments of people talking about like the concept of working hard, so either you or Aaron deserves to spend your money however you want. This person said, to be honest, I work damned hard in the medical field. With respect, if I want to overconsume, I will. Another person said, don't judge, Zachary. What's your story? I myself enjoy and watch every video Aaron made. She's down to earth and works very hard. I see you make your money talking about other creators. Shame on you. Another person said, what people spend their money on isn't your business. If she's working and paying her bills and she wants to spend her money, leave people alone. And you know what? Lots of people do work really hard, including the people working in poor work conditions and or forced labor to make the products from Temu. We live in a capitalist society, and that means that the way that we choose to spend our money reflects some of our values and the things that we care about. I absolutely believe that there are cases where it's impossible to ethically consume things under capitalism. I even noted in my video yesterday that I'm very aware that some people have to use things like Temu and Amazon as a means to have access to things that maybe they can't buy where they live, or because it's just the more affordable option. But my video wasn't about them. My video is not about that. Erin is somebody who very clearly can afford a lot of things. She can afford tons of stuff, and she showcases that by how much she buys all the time in her videos. That's very different from a family who can't afford a lot and needs to like buy some new clothes or something like that. And the reality is those families are likely not regularly spending hundreds of dollars on Temu to make videos on YouTube. My video is also not an assessment on whether Erin works hard or not. I'm sure she does. But overconsumption's really serious. Like buying a bunch of things you don't need from unethical places like Temu that contribute to problems with the environment and also contributes to the way workers are treated and things like that are an issue. Overconsumption has consequences. But overall, I just want to emphasize again that my commentary is on the overconsumption and not who Erin is as a person. So many people commented on my video that Erin is a sweet, kind, loving person, and I believe that. I also appreciate that Erin has so many people that support her and come to her defense. But I also can't help but feel like those people coming to her defense without listening to anything I had to say about overconsumption in the video really missed the point. I really do wish Erin the best moving forward, and I hope this video and yesterday's video has given people something to think about when it comes to the way they spend their money and or participate in overconsumption. We've all got room to grow. We've all got room to be better people. I'm not necessarily inherently better than anybody else just because I'm commenting on this. Overconsumption is just something that I'm genuinely interested in as a concept, and trying to think of ways that I can also do better myself. So that's all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for a little bit. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I had so much fun today. I hope you did too, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!